everybody. It's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 583. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
I'm Mako-chan.
And I'm WildSpice, and I was muted.
There we go.
Yeah, that happens a lot on Orange Lounge Radio as well. And before the show, are we getting close to a hype train? Are we getting there?
Well, we're at level 1. We gotta get up. We gotta get those levels up.
Okay, that's what we gotta do. And
but, I don't have any more money to give right now.
I mean,
Same.
I think I got some more. You know. Let's see. Let me throw this over to, and I just realized I forgot to throw this over to the Zenkai group. So I'm about to drop that in there now. So hopefully,
Hello, everyone.
hopefully they will listen and we can run with it. And did I wait? And I'm looking at the advertising post. The link is not there. Holy shit. I forgot to post the link in the damn thing, but it's okay.
Ha! You can edit it.
Yeah, you remember, it used to be so much easy to edit. All you had to do was just click edit. Facebook knew you were one of the admins, and it will go right in, and you could take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you actually have to flip to that profile and edit it.
Yep.
Or use the Meta Suite and edit it that way. And that's the way I prefer, because I don't like switching profiles.
I have so many profiles I'm on.
Yeah, and
I have so many profiles. I'm always scared I'm gonna post to my the work one by accident. I'm like, no! So I always have to triple check. I'm not gonna post to the work Facebook page.
Now. Don't be like Anime Next. Whoops.
Oof.
Whoops.
Ouch.
Hey. After being dragged, I'm kind of allowed to throw a stick at them. I'm allowed. Gonna have a little something, you know. Let's see. See, that's it. I'm trying to share to my personal page, and I gotta switch fucking profiles. That's fucking nuts. All right, okay. All right, enough about this. Let's get into tonight's show. Oh, man. Let's get into tonight's show. Welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 583. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. And now that we've already introduced ourselves, how is everybody doing tonight?
Still recuperating.
I'm
Same. Tired.
I don't know. I can't say that I wait, holy crap. Do we get wait, we got a hype train? Hey. I actually now I have to edit in a sound effect for that. And I think I know which one I'm going to use for next time. But anywho, we
completed level 1.
Yeah, we've
Thanks
done
for the
it.
gift subs.
Yes, special shout out to Sia DeBerry for the gift subs. You know, special shout out to everybody that's throwing bits at us. We really appreciate that. Wow, a level 3 hype train. I'm very humbled by it. I really am, because like I said, we take time out of our schedule to get together, talk about some stuff, and we just have fun with it, and y'all have fun with it back and appreciate it, and we're just thankful for it. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's kind of get things going so we can kind of push it along here. So, we, as always, we're live tonight, week of March 28, 2023, right here on Twitch TV. We're live here Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Now that we're under Daylight Standard Time. You can always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. You can always find them over at Twitch TV/Vog Network. They kick things off on Sundays at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And please come hang out in our Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come through, hang out, and have a good time. That's how we like to do things. So before we get into our massive Zenkaikon 2023 review, and I know there's a few of you who are new to this channel and want to know what we thought about it, but before we get into it, we're going to kind of take a couple of minutes to talk about our weeks and our days. So, Ari, how was your week? How was your day?
Well, I know it's been I know I haven't been here for last week, so I guess the lack of a beard is probably jarring for some people. I apologize. Or
it happens.
Yeah, I wanted to do something else with it, style it differently, but when I took the trimmer to it, I'm like, oh shit, I set this thing too low. I'm like, oh well, it's facial hair. It'll grow back.
It always grows back.
Mm-hmm. And I'm cosplaying as my evil twin. If I was my evil twin, I would have a goatee. Also, probably really short hair and a burning, seething hatred for Pokemon.
So much for a guy to catch them all, huh?
Anyway, with Zenkaikon being this past weekend, my vacation week is actually this week, so ultimately I haven't done a whole lot of anything. I mean, I went to the gym today, but yesterday and Sunday I pretty much just came in and spent the next day and a half just hiding from daylight.
And I totally get that. I totally do.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it hasn't been all that spectacular for me outside of work.
I think it's spectacular because you had a good time, so now your batteries are down. You spent a couple of days recharging your batteries. That's a good thing.
I also did get paid. Well, it went in this past Saturday, but, you know, the payment for the rent and the other things all cleared today. So, but thankfully I still have, you know, plenty of cash on hand to last me until the next check.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how things have been going for me.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Not horrible. You know, besides convention and getting ready for convention and eating an extraordinarily huge amount of cake this weekend. I did not realize just how many cupcakes I ate.
Well, I mean, I did see a lot of cupcakes in the room. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, well, between donuts and cupcakes, I was a very happy person.
Yeah, your sweet tooth went into maximum overdrive, all right.
Yeah, well, I mean, with all the candy that I brought with me and ended up not having any of, I figured, all right, I can have a cupcake.
Fine. I say save me one, but even if I came out there tomorrow, they'd be all gone anyway.
Oh, no, the cupcakes were gone before I even left.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I brought whoopie pies home with me.
All right, that's good. I'm about that, you know. Let's see, let me see if I can get this in here without it going nuts. There we go. All right. Is that it, or would you like to let somebody else take the reins?
Somebody else can go.
Okay. WildSpice, it's been a long time. How have you been?
It's been 84 years. I am good. I am hot. It is hot here in Florida.
Well, nobody told you to move down there.
It's alright. I'm doing good, aside from moving to Florida. No, moving to Florida has been fine. It took me over 6 hours to get home yesterday, so that was fun.
See, no, I totally get that because I was just as bad.
Yeah, my flight out was at 3:20 from Philly, so I stayed overnight on Sunday night with my mom just so I could visit my mom, and then I flew out of Philly to go home. But my flight was at 3:20. We sat on the plane until about 5, 6 o'clock because of weather. So we sat out on the runway on the plane, and then we went back to the gate because we had to get gas. And then we finally were taking off, and we had to go a different route to get home. And yeah, I didn't get home till like 11 o'clock last night. So that was fun.
Wait. How in God's name do they put a plane out there with no gas?
I don't know. I guess I guess it was because we had to go the different route, so it was further, so they just had to go put enough gas on it so they could go the rest of the way, I guess. I don't know. But fun. That was fun. But yeah, Zenkaikon was fun. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh
but yeah,
yes,
that's
definitely.
Oh, and then we're going to MegaCon this weekend. So this is the first time I get back from a convention, and then we're going to another one.
I might have to tag you in a. I gotta see if my friend Closet Chloe is going, because if she is, y'all should hang out. She made her own She did an Ellie cosplay from Love Live. Cyber
Nice.
Ellie made it from scratch.
Nice.
So her as Ellie, you running around as Yo. Good Lord Almighty. All right, so my weekend days basically been about the same. So work 3 days a week last weekend, and making my way up for Zenkai. Now, as I've mentioned before, I have unlimited PTO, and I'm not saying that to rub it in, but what I'm saying is, after I put in that time, I realized I could have taken Wednesday off and just woken up late and just packed everything that morning and just hopped and just made my way and met up with Mako-chan at her job, and we could have just rode down. But I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. I did ask to see if I could take that Wednesday, but my boss never got back to me about it, but I decided not to press the issue. It was more like I didn't want to bring all of my stuff to work, I figured just go straight out there. So that's all said and dandy. Now, again, the con was great. We're going to get into that. And as to WildSpice's 6-hour trek back home, yeah, I completely understand. I think my trek was about 7.5 hours.
Yeesh.
Well, you got to understand. We actually left the convention center around 10 minutes to 3, because like that 50 minutes when we said we're leaving at 2 was consisted of me doing last minute photography taking, us going to the car, and then going to Prince of Subs for cheesesteaks. And good lord, that shit was greasy right through the paper bag.
It was so good though.
Yes. WildSpice, did you check that place out?
Which place was it?
Prince of Subs.
No.
Next...
I didn't really get out of the building most of the weekend.
Well, given I thought maybe you might have. Next year Thursday, I'm going to go down Thursday and I'm going to bring you one. It's like 2 blocks from the convention center. So
cool.
So we went. We did some stops on the way. Potty breaks, food, coffee breaks, and all of that. We dropped off Cinnamite, and then what worked for me in my favor was one of the big hubs, for buses was 10 minutes from our house. So we went there. It took me 10 minutes to repack and reorganize everything, and I'm thankful for Mako for holding on to my swag that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the bus was coming 10 minutes. Bus shows up like almost 20 minutes late. And I get to New York, and it's about 8:10. And as I'm taking my stuff out of the bus, the other bus coming from my stop rolls right in. I mean, and I had to laugh because as somebody who lives in New York City who takes buses normally, it's like the one time you're trying to get there, the bus shows up late, and then The one time you're just gonna go. You see 3 buses go right past you as you're going to the bus stop. It's like, what the hell? So,
Fucking MTA.
Oh. Let me say this real quick, and then we'll get into the housekeeping notes. The MTA has decided, in their all-endowing wisdom, that all the people that work in the booths will no longer be behind the booths. They'll be outside as customer service agents, helping people. And I'm just like, I'm shocked that they're going to allow this to happen, because so many of those MTA people are going to be so butthurt they can't sit in their booth playing Candy Crush Saga on their iPhones and tablets. To quote what's his name from what was that movie? Hot Fuzz. Such a shame. But anywho, now we got that out the way, we're gonna get into some housekeeping news here. Little update here. Wunderbar. Don't forget, podcast VODs are available on our YouTube page at youtube.com/anime jam session. Just click on playlists, then podcast VODs, and all the episodes will be there. Don't forget, they go up Thursdays at 12 noon. And the next couple of conventions on our return to pandemic normalcy 2023, Kogura-con and Castle Point. Kogura-con, I believe, is at Middlesex Community College in Jersey. I believe that convention is May 6th, I believe. And I know, and right after that is Castle Point Anime Convention in Secaucus, New Jersey, which is May 13th to the I think that's April 29th to the 30th. Let me double check, because I actually have the page up for booking reservations. Yes, there we go. So Castle Point Anime Convention is our next convention, April 29th to 30th in Secaucus, New Jersey at the Meadowlands Expo Center. And Kogura-con at Middlesex Community College, May 6th. And I think right after that is CloverCon, which is Sunday, May 14th. So it's been a while since we've had like 3 cons back to back. But at least they're all local, and this time my wallet won't scream at me for spending so much money. And it's funny. I've gotten used to the fact that I have money to buy swag with, and I don't have to worry about making ends meet. Like, this past weekend, the stuff that I bought, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I think I spent more than I should have. While I'm waiting for the bus, after I bought my ticket, I checked my account, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. And to be perfectly honest, I'm glad I checked my account while waiting for the bus, as opposed to at the convention. I would have spent more money. Make slight interruption here. Calliope says CloverCon is May 21st, so we don't have 3 cons back to back. That's a good thing. So now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our week, like cool stuff that we have, or new animes that we're watching, or something like that. So before we continue and get into our Zenkaikon breakdown, does anybody have something to share for Geek Roundtable, or do you want to save it?
I'll show it off now.
Go for it.
I got this little thing. It's a sushi pillow. The design is supposed to be tuna. Now, this came from, like, I was, talking to a couple people in the room, and I was like telling them what was, telling about what I saw. I think the conversation somehow got into food allergies.
Right.
And I had said that I can't eat any kind of seafood at all, and I said I wanted to get one of these sushi pillows because of the color scheme, but it would have. I thought it would have been hypocritical, because it's something I can't eat, and they're like, not really. And I didn't have a lot. Like I can't fucking talk tonight. I typically don't spend a whole lot of money on swag anymore.
Right.
Because it's, where am I gonna put it, and how am I gonna get it home? Where am I gonna put it, etc.
I understand. I understand. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast as opposed to watching, I'm pointing behind myself to my messy apartment / studio where we record the show and stream it. How much of a mess it is because stuff that I have purchased over the years and starting to realize I'm starting to slowly run out of space.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's nice. It's soft. It just stays on the bed.
That's good.
So yeah, that's it.
All right. Anybody else wanna? I know Mako has something that she bought from the con. Do you want to talk about during the con or right now?
No, I'll talk about it now.
All right, go ahead, Mako.
Yeah, so I was semi good this weekend and only bought 2 things from the dealer's room. This happened to be one of them. As everybody knows, I do collect pop figures, and when I saw this one, this was the only Chase pop figure that the vendor had, and it just so happens that I enjoy the series. So I decided to go ahead and buy my first Chase pop figure. So this is Joker from Persona 5.
All right, so why is it a Chase pop figure?
So Chase pop figures, basically you have your normal pop figures, and sometimes a selection is taken from that and made differently.
Okay.
So some of them might be glow in the dark, whereas the normal ones aren't, and those they have the Chase sticker on them, and it's a variation of the normal number. So this one, the normal pop figure has Joker with his mask on, whereas the Chase pop figure has the mask off.
Okay.
I know some of them, there are a couple of, trying to think, 11 from Stranger Things. There's one that she is in her normal outfit, and then the Chase figure happens to have her holding Eggos.
I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a slight variation of what the regular pop figure is. The numbers are very low on it, but they are randomly inserted into the boxes when they're shipped out. So you're not really supposed to know where they are, and retailers can potentially get them for sale just randomly. So when they do come out, they come out as regular prices. But obviously, because they are collectors, the price goes up very quickly on them.
I'm not surprised by that. Really, I'm not. All right, so for me, as I mentioned before, I would love to show off some of the merch that I purchased at the con, but I can't do that because they're all in Mako-chan's house because I legitimately ran out of room to pack stuff because I brought more stuff back than I expected. So,
Oops.
I think I talked about this. I don't remember if I talked about this on the show or not, but I did tell Mako-chan this. I shared this. Like 7-Eleven has a run of limited edition cool gaming shirts, long sleeve ones. Well, I bought one. I even packed it for the con to wear, but I never got a chance to wear it. So basically, it's the basic Pac-Man board with the ghosts and Pac-Man scattered throughout on the game board, and it says at the bottom 7-Eleven, and in the middle is a big old picture of Pac-Man holding a Slurpee in one hand and a hot dog in the other. I thought that was one of the coolest shirts ever. Oh, and on one of the sleeves, it says 7-Eleven, and it's a classic 80s style logo. I thought it was so awesome. That, and I am long overdue for long sleeve gaming nerd shirts. I have like 3 now. I need more because I can wear them to work and people will appreciate them. Like when I wore my Bandmade shirt that one time. And also, as here, this is going to be the last one in the Ocean Bomb taste test because I have not been able to really find the last 2 flavors, which is Pluto and Saturn. I think I know where to get them, but I just haven't had time to go get them.
I haven't even seen them online for sale.
I've seen people with them, but not online for sale, like you said. I know Sunrise Mart has them for $2 a can. I've been like, when we went to that one Asian market, I was hoping that they would have them, but they didn't. So I'm gonna check. I gotta go down towards Micro Center. So there's a Sunrise Mart over there. I'm gonna check that spot and see if they have them. So that would be cool.
There they are.
Found them online?
No, I was trying to find out when they were released.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it looks like they weren't even released until March 10th.
I'm trying to think because my other friend MJ got me 3 cans of each, and this was when we all hung out because I was at a friend's house. No, that's right. She got them for me back in February.
Yeah, because I'm looking here that they were available for sale online. They were added on March 10th. And Pluto is watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
Saturn is grapefruit.
Interesting. Now, Neptune is kiwi. So let's give this a try. I will say the Uranus, which was pineapple, that one was really good. At first, I thought I was drinking cucumber, but the kiwi flavor just kicks in. Actually pretty good. That'll be my drink for the rest of the night, along with my 22-ounce water bottle. So, now that we got that out the way, wait, WildSpice, how did you go into negative PTO?
So because I had to take so many days off for Zenkaikon because I needed time to travel up there and come back. And yeah, for the first time ever in my work career, I'm negative PTO.
Wow.
I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, it's the way. Yeah, I should earn it back pretty quickly, but yeah, I'm negative PTO.
Wow, that's crazy. To quote my friend George, wow, that's crazy. All right. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about Zenkaikon. Let's get together about day freaking 0.
That was loud.
Sorry. To be fair, I didn't think it was going to be that loud, so I will properly adjust. So my apologies on that. Let's bring this down to about 25. So my apologies if I blew anybody's ear out. So I know we don't have much time as we normally do because we spent basically half the show kind of playing catch up and so forth. So we're going to discuss the next 4 days in the next 40 minutes to the best of our abilities. And let's try, because I would love to make sure that WildSpice can join us for the full show, because she's turning into a giant pumpkin right after, so, you know.
Yes, Florida turns me into a pumpkin after a certain time, because that's how it is in Florida. Tee.
But I'm allowing it because I really like your background, how nice and neat it is. That's life goals from behind here. So anyhow, for those of you who are listening, she has a nice background of her merch, and her walkway has LED stripes from Five Below.
Organization.
Yep.
Having an actual room to have an office in.
I want LED stripes, but I want it like app controlled or something like that. We'll figure that out. Anywho, so
They probably make them.
oh, I know
They
they
you do. You can find it on Amazon.
Yeah, but I just want like I don't want to have different apps for different things. But that's a story for another time. So
Onward.
Thursday is day 0, and we call it day 0 because most of us are coming in that day. We're checking in, we're unloading our stuff, hanging up our cosplays. This is the perfect time to catch up with some of your friends. Now I say some because let's be real. All of your friends will be there the whole weekend, but only some of them will be there day 0. The rest you'll probably will be scattered to the 4 winds because I think I missed out on 5 people I wanted to see that last weekend. So it happens. So to summarize, me and Mako, then Ari, then Cinnanite, then Kuro Hikari-chan and her sister and brother-in-law. We all basically around 4:30 we unload, we relax, we eventually get our badges. And what was great was there was programming available that Thursday night, as well as the game room was open. So I had a good opportunity to play some DDR Extreme and Step Maniacs. Unfortunately, I was not able to really record my scores in Step Maniacs because I kept scanning the QR code, but it just wouldn't upload. I blame it on the network, so whatever. But one of the things that we did do was instead of going out like we always do for Thursday night dinner, we actually ordered in. We ordered from a local pizzeria. And what happened was, right after we ordered it, now mind you, the local pizzeria is 2 blocks away, but I get a call from the pizzeria. They gave the guy the wrong order, so we had to send him back.
Womp womp.
We got the proper order, but we paid him a little bit extra. And I was talking to one of my friends, Ori, and he was like, the pizzeria wasn't as good as usual. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we ordered from a place called Brooklyn Pizzeria because the people that run it are from Brooklyn. And I would say every time I've gone there, it was on par. I'd have to say maybe because it took longer for the food to get to us, or maybe they changed the recipe. It wasn't as good. It didn't hit as hard as it normally did. But that's just me. So basically, we just spent that Thursday, enjoy some libations, just chatting, getting to know each other, So, Mako, Ari, anything you want to add to that?
I didn't have a whole lot of trouble getting down to getting over to Zenkaikon this year. I mean, there was I just decided, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna call in sick for work on Thursday. Not gonna worry about switching shifts or whatever, any kind of nonsense like that. Just
right.
So yeah, it just packed everything up around noonish, and I just got in the car and drove off.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it sucks having to make the trip all alone, but that's what happens. The weather was shit this year, though.
Yeah, that was my gripe, was having to drive with the rain.
Well, given how many Zenkais we've done, and there's been the most bad weather we've had to deal with is just wind.
The wind? That's not even that bad. I mean, we haven't had any blizzards hit the middle of the convention.
No. This is not Katsu.
No, it's not.
Does that tell you
that was fun watching the river freeze as the waves lapped against each other.
I'm gonna tell you this now. Let there be a freak snowstorm during Zenkai. I'm gonna be like, pack it up, let's go. I'll be like, remember, I'm the only one with unlimited PTO. I can weather this out. Y'all can't. Let's all pack it up and get the hell out of Dodge. And the best part is, Mako has heat in her car.
Yeah, I finally broke down since I had to get the new AC put in to have them do a complete clean and flush. So I have heat back in my car now.
Hooray.
Not that it was really cold enough that
Yeah,
if
it wasn't
it didn't
cold.
have heat, it would have been an issue.
Mm-hmm. I had to fly. I took 2 planes to get to Zenkaikon.
Yeah, we had a discussion about that. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I flew. Yeah, it was cheaper to fly to Harrisburg than it was to take the train or like just fly to Philly. So I flew to
Yeah,
Philly. Huh?
I never understood that. Why the plane, like, the plane was, less expensive. If we worked
I don't
that
know.
out, you could have rode with me to Zenkai.
Yeah, that could have worked,
Yeah.
like what we did last year. Well, next year we could plan that out a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So now, WildSpice, you were staff this year, correct?
Yes, I
Alright.
was staff for the cosplay department. So I was pretty much staffing all weekend. Staffing all the time, all the things. But yes, I was staff.
At least you didn't get a staph infection. I mean, I do have a shirt that says Danger Con staff on it.
But yeah, day 0 is
Is it
pretty
spelled
much setting
staff
up.
or STAPH?
SCAPH.
Okay.
But yeah, for me, Thursday was just set up. Pretty
Okay.
much getting cosplay headquarters and the Magic of Cosplay exhibit set up. And then going with my 2 roommates / friends to get we ended up getting Issei ramen. So we had some ramen, but we had it up in the room and just chilled out because we had been busy setting up.
Now,
There you go.
was the broth good?
It's all right.
All right.
I like my ramen when I can actually sit and eat it. Where if I take it out, it's not as good as when you take it out. You got to eat it in.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was basically our day 0. So now, let me over. We're gonna get into our day 1, and I promise the sound effect will not be as loud this time.
What sound effect? I could barely hear it.
Couldn't hear it. Barely hear it.
Are you
That's why.
serious?
You can hear it, but it's very faint.
All right, how about this?
That's better.
Okay.
There you go.
Right.
That was a happy medium.
All right. Then you know what? I'm going to put it on, wrong switch. I'm going to put it on 35 and leave it at that. So for when we get into day 2, you'll hear that. All right. So, Ari, kick us off with day 1.
Well, given the reputation of the farmers market and the fanatical devotion to the maple bacon donut goodness, I decided to go over with what was her name again? The other girl in our room?
Gabriella?
Huh?
You mean Cinnanite?
Cinnanite.
Yes.
I couldn't think of her. Yeah. Cinnanite and I ended up going over there. Only problem is that going up there at exactly 6 a.m. meant literally nothing else was open. Well, maybe like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
But we did get the maple bacon donuts.
That's good.
And there were already staffers there buying up most of the stock.
That's correct. Oh, I'm not surprised.
And they were chatting with other locals about, how much they loved them and how they always, snatch them up like this.
It's a tradition, really.
Mm-hmm.
It is. They need to like sell tickets and have fights over these donuts.
That's the last thing you need. Someone brawling over donuts.
But for the record, they are that good.
They are that good.
Yeah, they are, but
Yeah.
still, how would the news report, 2 local, like a bunch of locals and a bunch of assholes in costumes fighting over bacon donuts?
Breaking news.
Yep, and the breaking comes with someone getting their head shoved in the glass case.
Oh my goodness.
Breaking news just coming in live to the Anime Jam session on New York studios. A fight has broken out at the Lancaster Central Market. It seems that the last bacon-covered donut was taken from the display, and a bunch of cosplayers are now fighting over it in a King of Fighters Tekken-style tournament. And it seems that some of the cosplayers are playing dirty. So oddly enough, they were up at like 7 a.m. for this. So as soon as we get some more detailed information, we'll have a live feed of it, and we're gonna go right back to the studio.
Jesus Christ.
Dumbass.
That's why the gates were outside of the farmer's market. 'Cause the brawl that occurred.
Roll Tide!
Side note, construction. But that would have been fun.
But yeah, like I would go there again the next morning, but it would be, much like a little bit later than that. When everything is open and I can get some variety.
Gotcha.
I mean, I had other things to eat, and I just wanted to get the donut and have my fix fixated, and that be the end of it.
Okay. All right. So, what cool panels did you check out?
I have them here on the official Zenkaikon app.
Oh.
Powered by Guidebook.
It's probably coming up as just a plain white glare on this thing.
It is.
Everyone's staring to it.
I mean, there's a reason why I decided to pull the trigger and get anti-glare lenses this time around. Granted, you can still see the reflection in them, but it's not so bad.
Let's see. The first one I went to, it was 11 o'clock, but that just gave me a lot of time to roam around, hit up the game room. Rooms plural, one for video gaming, one for tabletop. Let's see. Localizing video games, which is you can't just run you can't just run English text through Google Translate. It's a lot more to it than that.
Right. Yeah, you run it through Google Translate, then you have 5 other people to verify that.
But you have things like translating and
Oh, yours is the anti-glare one. See, I'm just cheap and just get as long as it protects.
Yeah.
Check
But
it
then you have
out.
things like not only translating into different languages, but but there's about as much difference between Mexican Spanish and Spanish, for instance, as there is between American English and English.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew.
Dialects, accents, and it's even worse if you try and translate it into a font that doesn't have special characters in it.
And then you have to use a generic font, and then some people complain about the generic font.
Among other things, yeah.
Are gamers ever happy? Survey says no.
Nope. But yeah, that was the first one I went to.
Okay.
The second one was Manly Battleships is Selfie Squares.
Yeah, I went to that one. That was a bit of an oddball panel but I still had fun with it.
It was nice to see Uncle Yo again.
Yes, it definitely was.
I don't understand why each comedy troupe or whatever has to have the designated, butt of the joke, like Mikey up there, who was just constantly getting shit upon.
I mean, same thing happens with Hollywood Squares. I mean,
No, I mean just in comedy troupes in general. Like I don't think that's the only
Don't we have that between us? Isn't that Ranma?
It's not usually the guy in charge,
It depends.
Yes,
It depends on the troop. Ari, you always call yourself the straight man, so someone has to be the psychotic one, and
I thought Mako was such a psychotic one.
I am the psychotic one.
Actually, all y'all are the psychotic ones. I just have to come up with the alibi for y'all.
Anyway.
Continuing on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and I also went to later on. It was failed Americanized anime.
Oh, how was that? Because I didn't get a chance to check that one out.
Oh, there were some hideous things we were seeing. As not just like it was like this prototype of a Sailor Moon where it was, 4 girls but they were angels.
What?
And then we got to actually see the opening to Saban Moon.
I like that. I don't care. I'll take this to my grave. I would love to have seen a 13 episodes pulled out of that for Saturday morning, okay? Even if it's on the same set as Saved by the Bell.
Also, there was a trend in some localizations, like there's another one like really cartoony, what do you call it? Like chibi robots, like Gundams or whatnot.
Oh, you mean Doozy Bots? Yes,
that's the one.
Yes,
yeah,
I remember seeing that one.
One thing the panelists pointed out in both Doozy Bots and Saban Moon, there was a character in a wheelchair, and the alter ego that they had also could not walk. Like, what the fuck?
I mean,
that's like at least 7 or 8 episodes of character development and character arc exploration right there. The trying to come into terms with the the reality of only being able to walk as a superhero.
Ari, you have to understand, this is from the 90s, so there is those 7 to 8 episode arc on character development about them being able to walk. It'll either happen in a 30-minute episode or in a 2-part, very special episode of Doozy Bots,
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that reminds me. They also showed off like one of the guys on I believe it was Children Driving Robots. Yeah, those are the panelists. One of the guys actually had a VHS copy of Warriors of the Wind.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It's the reason that Hayao Miyazaki sent a sword to katana to Disney with a note that says "No cuts," because Nausicaa got chopped up so badly, and it was virtually unrecognizable. Like, again, no gray areas anywhere. There's very clear cut black and white, good versus evil, good guys right, bad guys wrong.
What about the Digimon movie? The prosecution rests.
But yeah, he also said that it's not available on DVD or anywhere, and like, I don't think like the guys. I think he even said he doesn't even have a working VCR anymore, so he can't watch it. But
I mean,
this little oddity that he has.
Have him reach out to me. I will pack my VCR and make everybody suffer.
Yeah. That's how the better part of my day one went. I wanted to go in the pool, but it was under construction, renovation. I'm like, okay, maybe the next time we'll come. Like, maybe next year they'll have the pool and the hot tub open.
I can go for that. All right, Mako, how was your Friday? Your day one?
Not bad. I really didn't do panels much at all this weekend. So Friday, I did end up going to the farmer's market, did a bit of shopping for myself and for some of the people at work. And then Friday, I relaxed. Yeah. I didn't do a whole heck of a lot, which was perfectly fine with me. I walked around the convention. I did some people watching. But yeah, I mean that was basically my Friday. I just took it very chill and wanted to just enjoy having a day off.
When was the last time you actually people watched at a con like that,
Well, considering I haven't actually been to a convention like this in a while. It's been a while.
Gotcha.
And I don't count DerpyCon because, I was in a corner for most of it.
Let's be well. First things first. Nobody puts Mako-chan in the corner, and and number two, it's DerpyCon.
Yeah.
All right. So, I always have an issue with panels, and it's not in the aspect of getting selected for one. It's finding the time to go to one, because I hit at least 10,000 steps a day, probably. I'll probably check it later, walking around doing photography. And the way things have been lately, I find myself just rolling with the punches, getting photography, taking pictures, and finding time to go to panels. So I went to the Selfie Squares one. It wasn't 9 people like in Hollywood Squares. It was 3 guests, and they each took a row. And that was kind of fun. I thought that was kind of cool. The second thing I did is something I always do, and I don't think I've ever missed one. I don't remember. And that's going to the formal. This year, I found a picture of Party Lloyd, Lloyd Forger. There is a figure of him, and I think I bought it. And he's wearing a black suit with the gloves and the hat and the pin on the shoulder, on the lapel. And what was interesting, I found another Agent Twilight at the formal, but he forgot his pin. I was like, dude, I had a spare up in the room I could have given you, But it was fun, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't get a chance to stay for the full thing because I hightailed it over. I actually think I changed and hightailed it over to the Idol Fest. WildSpice, you hosted that. Was I in regular clothes or was I Lloyd?
Oh shoot.
Okay.
I think you were still dressed up.
Okay.
I think you were still dressed up as
Okay.
well.
You did-
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back to the room.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I went to that. Now, there was some controversy in regards to the Idol Fest. And I expect this at any convention that holds an Idol Fest. Basically, the Love Live cosplayers, the AKB 0048, Idol, all of them, they're mad that they're being pushed to the side. Now, here's the thing. I love my Love Live skits. I love my Idol skits. I love seeing them in the masquerade. But I don't like seeing 15 Love Live skits and like 10 non-Love Live skits in the masquerade. Mm-hmm. That balance is ridiculous. So you've given them all those cosplayers, those performers, their own stage. And every con does things differently. For Zenkai, whoever won Idol Fest got a chance to perform at the halftime show. I thought that was great. If it was me, I would have said whoever comes in first place will be part of the halftime show. Whoever comes in second or third will get a chance to actually be in the masquerade and compete again. That's just me. I don't think a lot of cons. I'm just like, it's like a nice variety of everything. But I will say this before we talk about Saturday, with all the Love Live skits doing the Idol Fest and all that, Hatsune Miku Company is like, now's our time to rise and get back our spots, Just saying. Mm-hmm. So we'll get into that later. So I enjoyed the Idol Fest. I know there's an issue with the audio and the microphones, and that should be remedied for next year. Now, WildSpice, I'm going to kick it over to you. Please explain like this group elimination thing, because as much as I enjoyed it, I think having them do 2 songs was a little bit too much.
So this was our first time doing Idol Fest, and
Right.
The reason we did Idol Fest was exactly like you were saying. It was to give the opportunity for idol groups to have their own place to perform, because that is a very common thing nowadays with masquerades. Is a lot of your entries are Love Live skits. Love Live, idols, what have you. That's what a lot of skits are. So we wanted to give idols their own kind of space where they could do their performances, and they can do all that, and it's not like limited on, okay, you're an idol group, you can't do your thing. This gives them that space
Yeah.
to do that.
Right.
We already got very good feedback from people for it, so we do want to do it again next year.
I'm glad. Yeah.
So how it worked was we had 4 groups, and they were actually 8 groups split into groups of 2, and they faced off against each other.
Yeah.
So group A would do a song, then group B would do a song, then group A would do another song, group B would do another song, and the judges would select which group would then move on. So to clarify, that was how that went.
Right.
And the winner of the overall competition got to be the halftime show for the masquerade.
Okay.
So that way, we thought that would be something they'd be interested in, because they still get to perform during the masquerade. It's just they get that halftime show slot, and they can fit in what they want to fit into that halftime show slot. So
Okay.
Yeah. So I was the host. I had a fun time.
And which idol were you?
I was dressed as Freya from Macross Delta.
Yeah, I'm just busting your chops on this. Yeah, dressed as the idol that most people don't know who you are. I mean,
that was on purpose.
I know. Thank you very much, dude that brought us Robotech, Carl Masick. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, it was either going to be her or Ronka, but I didn't have time to do Ronka. And I just had started watching Macross Delta, so
is that streaming now?
No. I had to scour the internet to find it.
See, if scour, you should have asked me. I probably would have found it in 10 minutes. Be like, here.
Yeah, I have to finish watching it. I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, I was Freya. I had to dance around for a little bit.
Yeah.
I danced on the fly. I sang on the fly. It was very hot.
Yeah, I think you should. Hopefully next year they give you a wireless mic to walk around with, because I think that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah, the microphone situation, we tried to figure out which spot on the soundboard was the mic, but also because it's an outside tech crew, we didn't want to touch it because it's not our tech equipment.
Yeah, but also you could have also asked me, because I could have looked at it and been like, it's that one.
Yeah. So, luckily the idols sang to, they lip synced to stuff, so we didn't have to worry about mics so much for them. It was more for me to talk. But yes,
Gotcha.
we did have one entry who was solo, and she did sing. So
the Uta from One Piece.
One Piece. Yeah.
I thought that was cool, but I'm not a One Piece fan. But her dress turning into a transform, that was great. And just
costume changes.
And just so you know, don't worry, we did record the Idol Fest, and it will be going up on our YouTube page soon. And yes, there are photos. It'll be taking me a few weeks to get through all of them, so please bear with me.
Yeah. So Friday was that, and then we also had hall cosplay judging, so there was that. So I was taking pictures of all the entries for the hall cosplay, because for those not familiar with how cosplay contests work at conventions, how are you going to remember every single costume? You take a picture of them, and then you can go back through when you're judging and see, oh, okay, this was number this, so I can see what this costume was again, so I can reference back, and it might jog your memory for feedback. So I was taking those pictures just by the door so we could go back and check all the entries when the judges were making their decisions. So
gotcha.
That was I also did photo shoots over the course of the convention.
That's
so
good.
I was doing that too. But this is the only convention I did not go in the dealer's room at all. I did not step foot in there at all weekend. So yay.
That's a good amount of self-restraint, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm not one of those to complain about the dealer's hall, but eventually what happens is they get a little repetitive. I'm going to tell you this now. When WildSpice goes to MegaCon, that dealer's hall is going to be ginormous, and she is going to see stuff that she has. That's basically what it is. And I do understand people complaining about the same people that come every year, but you got to understand, I used to be a vendor. if we didn't make money to break even, what would be the incentive for us to come back the following year? That's basically what it is. So, and I do understand there are some people, there's some artists who are trying to get in for maybe it's time to freshen that up. We'll see. I think last year and this year gets a bit of a mulligan for the artists out in the other room because of the pandemic, so just let it be.
Yep.
But I did like, I know I'm skipping ahead to Sunday, but I'm saying I did like the fact of the swap meet. I didn't like the fact that it had to be trade item for trade, because there was some stuff that I would have just dropped money on and just walked out with. So but let's get back to our day one. So did you check out any panels, or were you just basically on cosplay staff duty Friday?
I was pretty much staff duty all day.
Okay.
Doing that. And then when I did have a break, I was doing photo shoots
All
or
right.
Idol Fest. So that's
no,
my Friday.
no, I totally get that. That's all good in the hood. So why is whatever? For some reason, Lightroom's giving me the odd middle finger about the catalog, but it doesn't matter. I already exported all the photos that need to be edited, so I ain't worried about that shit. So anyway, I was trying to look up something, but let's see. Let's get into our next day. And oddly enough, my streamer kind of crashed. So I'm using the software to switch scenes instead of like tapping the slide back and forth. So at least I have that going for me. So Saturday. Let's see if it'll refresh, or do I have to manually do this? Okay. Let's take a look. Forward. No. Is it gonna let me? No. All right. So I have to manually run the board now. Oh shit. Just like the good old days. I mean, I could reset it, but it might mess up the audio real quick.
We just keep going because we still have 2 days to get through.
I know. Hold on here. You know what? Let's get into. I'm just going to manually do it. Let's get it. Y'all get into day 2 while I kind of take care of the technical stuff in the background. Go.
All right, who wants to go?
You go, Ari. You go.
Okay, started off early, like not as early, but again, hit up the farmers market, did some shopping, got a couple of got a couple of like things for myself. I did stop by that one milk vendor who sells all the flavored milks, but they only had them in half gallons, all the different flavors, so I couldn't get them that year because I'm not gonna haul around a half gallon bottle of milk everywhere I go, and I'm not gonna put it in the fridge in the hotel room.
It's not enough milk. It's not enough room. Now, if the box said lawn milk on it, you sure as fuck I'd be walking around the con with that all damn day.
Yeah, probably. I did spend a lot of time in the video game room. There was a third strike machine in the far back.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Huh?
I saw that.
Also, I was honestly, at some points, I was expecting you to come up behind me. You're like, oh, why am I not surprised?
Nah.
But let's see. Here we go. The day the kids sat still, the history and ongoing legacy of Saturday morning cartoons. That was an interesting panel. Mostly a history about the traditional Saturday morning cartoon block format and its origins. And how it evolved between the 60s to the end of the 90s. And
that sounds cool.
Yeah, but a lot of them were, and how parents groups love to meddle and just they just protest and micromanage everything.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the times at the expense of the on-screen product. But isn't that what it's always like?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. After that was Taboo Tattoos. Which is how how the Japanese culture viewed tattoos.
Right.
How it actually started as positive, a mark of endearment until they decided, hey, let's just tattoo let's just tattoo someone's criminal record on their bodies, like on their foreheads or wherever, and then they fell into this out of favor, I guess would be the proper term. But their acceptance has very slowly worked its way back. Still not as bright as it is here, if you want to call it that, but
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely got to check out Uncle Yo's panel on Japanese folk theater,
Okay.
which which was part panel, part him doing all of his stand up nuances and tics, I guess you want to call it, but
Right.
yeah, but he definitely knew what he was talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. I'm kind of sad. I missed his
Stand up.
Yeah, because things ran so freaking, and we'll get into that in just a bit.
And oh god, game show Impossible Waifu or Daifu.
Oh, tell us about that.
Oh, manly battleships again. This is one I was really looking forward to. And well, the start of the show was this woman named Babs who was cosplaying as Lady Dimitrescu.
Yeah, I saw her. Yep.
Yeah, and she made it she was pulling being a dom the whole time, making everyone answer yes, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 18 plus because it was just an excuse to show porn. It was like a dating game kind of thing, and if you pick the correct the correct character from a list of from 12 different categories, what they picked,
Right.
that you select before it, there was a minute or two long mega mix of porn clips and hentai pictures of them, which that was all well and fun, but when they got to categories like little sister types,
Yeah.
and there were times when they almost lost the lost the audience completely, because one of the questions was, how would you address me as your older brother? And I remember the third one they asked, her response was going to be Edward.
Okay. Now. Okay. All right.
I thought they were going to come for their fucking heads.
Okay. All right. So, I have no issues with manly battleships. I never really knew who they were until about 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I do know that they did panels at Katsu, Otakon, and I just never went. I just think where you're going with this, I think we're going a little bit overboard and they just need to reel it back some. Now, I didn't mention this part.
There was universal rejection from the audience, so they didn't go any further than that.
Good. I mean,
but when they got to DILFs and they said, how would you describe your relationship with your kids? And one of them said, one of the answers was, oh, my daughter and the family dog are inseparable.
I know where we're going with that one.
Boo.
Yeah, because it was it's fun bringing up how much everyone hates Show Tucker, no matter the context.
Well, yeah. All right. Now, I forgot to get into this because I just thought about it. One thing that Zenkai had last year was the 21 plus, not a meetup, but party. It was at Tellus, drinks, dancing, party, all that good stuff. The following night, they did. Manly Battleships had a panel there. It was all right. I didn't cross the street to go to a bar or a club to play trivia. I came to drink, dance, and be social. I appreciate what they're doing. They did it at Friday night at Lancaster Market, but I just wasn't feeling it. I expected to roll in as Black Jesus, have a couple of drinks, talk, mingle, party it up, and leave. Not find myself going, y'all are doing some type of trivia shit? But that's just me. I know it was a full room, and people enjoyed it. Enjoy it. Do that. I just want them to have something like a 21 plus cosplay bar or club, something like that. And now I'm hearing there's talk that may be happening next year. But now, Marco,
Imagine all the wino cosplayers be like, "This is a perfect place for me to drink, maybe to drink and stay in character."
Maybe. So, Ari, any other panels?
No, just those.
Okay. Mako, did you check out any panels on Saturday?
Saturday I did hit up the ass end of the voice actor panel, which was really good. There actually were a bunch of decent questions this year. I was sad to see. I don't know if people ended up having to leave to go to other panels, but there was really a lack of crowd in there, which I hadn't seen in previous years. So I don't know, again, if, panels needed to be switched or what. But there were so many empty seats, and I was kind of, that's got to be disappointing for the voice actors. But after that, I ended up going to the farmer's market and grabbing myself some lunch, which there's a Thai place in there. And while most of the food was gone, they still had steam buns, and they were so good.
Nice.
But yeah, and then I ended up basically walking around the city for a little bit. Walked up a couple of blocks, walked around, got some cupcakes, found an empanada vendor who has only been there for a little over a year, and doing very well. Disappointed, obviously, because the tea place that I normally go to, obviously not there any longer. So it's basically just seeing all the new development, seeing who was still there, and what changes had been made in the city itself before going back to the hotel and people watching some more.
Gotcha. All right. So, WildSpice, I know, again, you were on cosplay duties of all of Saturday, but were you able to get out of, cosplay staffing duties to check out some stuff that you wanted to do?
What did I do on Saturday? Saturday I had some more shoots. Saturday was also masquerade day. So.
Yeah. Yeah, believe me. Yeah.
Yeah, so did I do anything? I did go get sushi for lunch at the sushi place down the street. That's really about it. Other than that, I didn't really do anything.
Well, like I said, you were doing a lot of work, so it is kind of understandable. So.
Yeah, so I didn't really get to do anything. Again, when I was wandering around, I was also Mako's doing. I also was just watching people. But yeah, we had the masquerade on Saturday. So that took up a chunk of the day. And then just going to bed afterwards because everybody was exhausted because the masquerade is it's a work.
It's a beast. It's a beast.
It is. It's a beast. And we had 37 entries, so
all right, we're going to get into that briefly in just a bit. All right. So,
but yeah.
I will say again, I apologize for not remembering because it's not on my list. Friday we did an interview with Emmy Lowe, and that will be up on our YouTube page soon. And Saturday we also did an interview with Nika Futterman. If the name is not familiar to you, I want you to think of Helga Pataki from Hey Arnold. Yes, that's her. So, let's see. What did I do on this Saturday? It was a bit of a blur. Well, the photo shoots, most of the photo shoots that were listed really didn't happen because evidently I guess people forgot where the stairs are in the hotel. In the lobby, on the right-hand side, there's like a set of stairs, casual stairs you could walk down. And that's where all the photo shoots were. The only shoot that I saw there going on there was, I think it was My Hero Academia and Love Live. But I stuck on for the Love Live one briefly, but not the My Hero one. I was kind of looking forward to the Power Ranger one, but it didn't happen. Now, I made a bit of a joke earlier about the Love Live entries being in its own little idol festival. Now, I've been competing in masquerades, watching masquerades, and recording them for about 20 years. The fact that all the idol stuff is in its own little space, it really reopens the competition back up for the masquerades. Because usually when you hear there is a Love Live group coming in, somebody, well, we're not going to win this. Granted, there are some groups that will make their costumes from scratch, and God bless them, because each Love Live series has like 25 different outfits. But, this year you had more than, for the masquerade, you had normal comedy skits, you had dramatic skits, and you had your dancing skits, and there were Hatsune Miku skits, and the one that was my personal favorite was the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind skit. And I'll tell you this shit right now, if it didn't get Best in Show, I would have thrown a chair. It would have been a black moment, I tell you that right now.
Yeah, we were saying like that. We were talking backstage and we were saying like that was like that was skits like, or that's the example of like a good masquerade skit, and it was like the way skits used to be back in the day.
Case in point, your Springtime for Gendo skit. Let's go back a little bit further when my crew did we dressed up as the characters from Dance Dance Revolution. Yes, older DDR games, you had characters dancing in the videos. You get to select them. We did a skit to the song DDR All Stars. We did Naruto to Ninja Rap, That was the type of stuff that you saw, but you didn't really see that because, again, I'm not trying to hate. I love my idol skits, but the bulk of them are on stage in the idol outfits doing the choreography to whatever that song is. I would love to see an idol group come out there and just like take something modern, like a modern rock dance or whatever, and do a routine to that. I know there are also male idol groups too. I mean, I would love to see a male idol group get up there and do their version of a Backstreet Boys song or 98 Degrees. That would be cool. Or Bang Dream, which is an anime about not really idols but teenage bands. I like to see them come up there and just do something from a rock song or something. That would be kind of cool, Something to step out of your comfort zone, something to be a little bit more original with. But I will say, the masquerade was on fire. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen a masquerade that good in a very long time. But y'all had to cut 10 skits out. I'm sorry. That masquerade ran longer than it should have. Maybe because it's what I'm used to. Generally, the competition performance part is about an hour. Then about 10-15 minutes of halftime show. 5-10 minutes giving out the awards. That's all. I mean, Anime NYC does like this whole 3-hour thing, which I kind of get. And that thing is at like 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, no, y'all got to roll that shit back 2 hours. I like the fact that the Zenkai Masquerade started around 6, which is a general time for most masquerades anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss where the tech crew will play various musics and everybody is singing and dancing and stuff. I kind of miss that, which I understand. But I will just say, God damn, Lizzie, y'all pulled out one hell of a masquerade. That was amazing. I loved it. I will be talking about this one for a while.
Yeah, it was a good masquerade. It was a lot of fun too.
And I know we're down to our time limit, so we're going to briefly talk about Final Day, and we're going to let WildSpice go because she has to get up at 5 a.m. And then once she goes, Ari's going to bounce off because he has to get up at 4. And then there's me. I don't have to get till 7:30 because I'm on second shift. All right, so let me go ahead and open this up. Let me refresh the page. All right, so now we are on the final day of Zenkaikon 2023.
There we go.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize how long that is because when you're playing, all right, just so you know, that is the versus sound effect when you're playing Rival Schools. Arcade play PS2. I didn't realize how long that was. Like that last 5 or 6 seconds, you don't hear that because where you're sitting playing this game, you don't hear that in the speakers, or you're in the arcade, you don't hear that because it's going right into the next battle. So, anywho, now Sunday I didn't do any panels. I did more shopping, and I think I spent about 200 or something like that. WildSpice, was that you?
Huh?
Was that you?
What?
I heard audio from somebody. Does somebody had their browser tab unmuted?
Might have been me. Might be.
Have I not taught you any? Let me stop. So,
Sorry.
you good. So I ended up spending maybe about $200, maybe $250 in the dealer's hall. And then finding out later, I didn't break the bank and I'm still good. I'm very appreciative of that.
That's good.
Yeah, Sunday cosplays were good. I will say, in the grand scheme of things, this is the first con I've been to in a very long time where there wasn't no number one popular cosplay. And like in the last 5 or 6 years, going to cons, whatever is the number one cosplay anime is, the majority of people going to cosplay from it. I didn't see that this year. You had some Spy Family, some Demon Slayer, some Love Live, you had a little bit of everything. The way it used to be years ago when animes were like 26 episodes, 39, 52. There wasn't that many titles out. It wasn't like 12 and 12, you know. It was like a nice blend of things. And I really appreciate that. That I enjoyed more than anything else. We left about 2 and we made our way home. I would say my final day, I really enjoyed it. I found myself running into more people. I ended up somehow reconnecting with a couple of friends, so I have two new old friends on my Facebook, and I'm appreciative of that. It was just, I just enjoyed myself more because I didn't stress myself on getting as many photos as I wanted. Was there some cosplayers I wanted photos of? Sure. Did I like bum rush to get them? No. Do I regret doing that? Not doing that? Absolutely not. It was good. I enjoyed it. But I will say that masquerade, I shot 1,300 photos. Y'all made me work. Because on average, I would shoot about 500 photos at a masquerade. I always say, if I don't get as many photos by Saturday, I'll make up the difference at the masquerade. I really made up the difference this time. Yes, sir, Bob. Again, for the most part, I've always enjoyed Zenkaikon. I've never really had much bad to say about it. But here are a couple of things. Now, again, bring back a 21 plus party for us older crowd that come out here and have a good time. Do that. Number 2, maybe it's time to move the Artist Alley a little bit over. Maybe it's time to make main events a little bit smaller. I don't know how you can do that. Maybe I don't know. It's an idea. Maybe it's getting to that because as packed as the Masquerade was, people were still trickling out. So maybe it's time to do something with that. Who knows? I may be 100% wrong about that. As well, also in regards to the dealer's room, some of the rows were either not even or what, because there was a couple of rows I could not get through because of traffic. So I think either they need to be a little bit spaced out more. And I understand mixing artist alley and dealer's room together to give the little guy, an equal fairing, equal opportunity. But maybe it's time to legitimately separate it. Keep it in the same room, but just be like, here's a stanchion going all the way across, like dealer's hall to your left, artist row to your right, something like that. It might be time for that. I didn't like the fact that there were no video rooms. I do understand video rooms are leaving conventions due to licensing and streaming, but don't forget, these streaming companies will allow you to stream at cons for a nominal fee. We don't. I think we're at a point where we don't need 3 video rooms anymore. We don't. One's good, because you know what a video room does? It gives somebody solace, peace and quiet. It's a place you can go where you can actually grab some water, sit down, relax, collect your thoughts, and even, discover a new series. I would say overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, Zenkaikon 2023 gets an 8.5 out of me. And there's no doubt about it, I will be back next year. Also, to Heather and the crew at Press, thank you for answering my questions and taking care of my staff. We really appreciate that. And to whoever is running panels, I think you need a better variety, because when there are people saying there are some panels that are running similar to each other, you might want to get more detailed summaries of them, of what people want to present. And if there are going to be panels that are going to be rejected or waitlisted, please let them know. I don't know if my email hit a dead wall or something. I never got any confirmation about my panels. And thankfully, I know people who were able to let me know what was going on. But also on the same token, I know people on staff. It's not hard for whoever's running press and all that. Panels, so they get in touch with me. That's all. That's all it is. Hopefully next year I will be able to host my 2 panels, which is Anime Jam Session Live at Zenkai, which is something I've enjoyed doing, which we've done maybe like every other year, and my Twitch streaming panel, where you learn the basics on Twitch streaming and what hardware you need and all of that, because that's something everybody wants to do. So don't think you can pick up a cheap $400 computer from Wally World and think you're going to stream Call of Duty on it. Not happening. Not happening. You'll be playing the game, you're going to hit stream, your machine's going to blue screen and fall to its knees. All right. WildSpice, your thoughts, and you can transform and roll out.
Sunday for me was did the cosplay photography panel. I did that with Jupiter Drops Photography, so both her and I did that panel. It was fun. We had a really good turnout. Other than that, it was pack up the cosplay and the cosplay exhibit and roll out. So it was pretty straightforward day. I ended up leaving the con around 3 or so. Because we were staff, we had the room until Monday, but we all left on Sunday. But we were able to go back up and get our luggage. It wasn't like a try to rush and get your luggage out of the room, which was nice.
That's good.
So my mom actually drove out from Philly to pick me up.
Aww.
Went back home, saw my aunt, uncle, cousins, and had dinner at their place, and then I stayed over at my mom's and went home on Monday. So it's a very chill day on Sunday. I said bye to people. Yes, I'll be at Otakon. People, calm down. But yeah, um, it's crazy like going from the con scene up north to con scene in the south because it's like nobody knows me down here. Where up north, it's like, oh, I know people, and now it's like I'm gonna go to conventions and not know people.
That
So
reminds me, I'm gonna reach out to Closet Chloe and see if she's going to MegaCon, right?
mm-hmm.
Maybe if she's looking to have some shots done, I will have her reach out to you.
Sure. But yeah, other than that, Zenkaikon was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, as I usually do. Um, I love that, it's still going strong and that people were there having a good time. And it was also just fun to see the amount of people who are like new to like Zenkaikon.
Mm-hmm.
I did see several people that I saw, that I saw at Colossal Con East. So that was interesting to be like, wait a minute, I saw this person at Colossal Con East and now they're here. And a lot of them either like that was their first Zenkaikon,
Yep.
that they only went to Colossal Con East, or now there are people who are like at Zenkaikon, they're like, oh, now I want to go to Colossal Con East. So yeah. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I got to come up and hang out with everybody and staff Zenkaikon. It was a very good experience.
Yes.
I was surprised. I was a little surprised when you came up to me and like talked to me. I think it was when I was coming back from the farmers market.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I came up and said,
Like,
hey.
I will say, Zenkaikon is not your typical anime convention. If you ever been to like a Gen Con of sorts where there's a little bit of everything, that's Zenkai in a nutshell. So if you're kind of tired of your hoity-toity, pure blood anime cons like Katsucon, come check out Zenkai. It's a little different. Plus 99% of 75 to 80% of all the food places are within a 2-block walking radius. Mako, your thoughts on Zenkaikon, your final day. What did you do?
Well, again, I basically just people watched. By the time we got finished packing up with everything, I just basically said screw it and went down to the lobby. After going through the dealer's hall one last time. But yeah, I was in the lobby and watching people again and admiring some of the cosplay and just, relaxing because I really, really, really needed this weekend.
And I'm glad you got that weekend. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So overall, we will be back next year. And we hope that you all enjoy it and what we talked about and come out next year and enjoy this con. I'm glad to see that friends on my personal Facebook are thinking about checking out this convention next year. So and I have a feeling a few of them will be like, yeah, I'm going to keep coming back to this one. So, all right. Just so you know, WildSpice, we're going to wrap up in 10 minutes. You want to call it?
Yeah, I'm
Good.
going to
I just
roll out.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So before you get out of here, where can they find you on the socials?
So I actually have a cosplay Instagram now. It's
Nice.
wildspice.cosplay.
I'll have to add that.
Yeah, wildspice.cosplay is for the cosplay, and WildSpice photography is the cosplay photography. There you go.
Unless you for managing 2 separate ones.
I have multiple Instagrams.
God. I have 2, and I tend to forget about the other one that I have.
I have 4, so there you go.
Jesus, that's 3. That's 3 too many. So, all right, my dear.
Yeah.
Take care. And hopefully we'll see you on another show coming up. We'll figure some shit out. But I know you'll definitely if we don't see you soon, we'll definitely see you for the Christmas show.
Oh yeah. Transform and roll that. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay, and that was WildSpice joining us. She doesn't stream anymore, but hang out with her on the socials. You know, I think she'll really appreciate that. So, and no, I did not block out Ari. The game over thing always shows up on that side. So let me move that over to here, and so we can put that there. Drop that down. Nope, drop that down a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Right,
There you go.
and locked. There we go. All right, now that we got that out the way, we actually have one story for Meanwhile in Japan. This is something we talked about 2 weeks ago, and I think this felt important enough to be followed up on because what these guys were doing was really disrespectful. Mako, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah. So we had spoken about the indecent issues with some of the statues at the Ghibli Park. Well, 3 men expressed remorse for their lewd photos. And they, whether or not this would have been done had the news of it not gone out, I don't know. But the governor of Aichi publicly condemned the photos and criticized the men who'd taken them.
Mm-hmm.
And many others echoing his feelings, a mutual acquaintance of the 3 men in the pictures contacted the government, saying they see the effect their actions are having and they're not sure how to set things right. All 3 of them regret what they did and want to apologize.
Good.
A meeting was then set up between the 3 men, accompanied by their acquaintance, the members of the government, and the park, I guess, promotional division at the Capitol building. It was explained 2 days later in a Friday press conference that the 3 men who had taken and posted the photos were all in their 20s and 30s and live outside of the area. 2 of them being prior acquaintances who traveled to the park together. During the press conference, the apology was read. I feel deep regret for having caused trouble and disgusting so many people with my actions. I will refrain from doing such foolish things in the future. I am truly sorry. I deeply regret making people uncomfortable with the photos I took in poor taste. I will not do such things in the future. I am truly sorry. I wish to deeply apologize for my disrespectful actions to Ghibli Park and Aichi Prefecture government and for making other Twitter users uncomfortable. I am truly sorry for my actions in this incident. The governor went on to say that he found the photos especially disturbing as the park attracts visitors from across Japan and is likely to become a major draw for visitors from overseas as well. Sandwiched between the cosmopolitan allure of Tokyo and traditional charm of Kyoto, the area has long struggled to establish itself as a must-visit tourist destination, with this park representing a chance to finally achieve that goal. It's understandable that the governor would be basically pissed as hell about everything that happened, and he stated his discussion of it in the press by calling the men's actions outrageous and inexcusable. However, while he had initially expressed interest in seeking criminal punishment for the men in the photos, he softened that attitude after meeting with them. They seem sincere in their apologies, and so I would like to accept them with the same sincerity. I would now like to consider the matter concluded. Yeah, so there you go. Hopefully we won't have to deal with this again because, again, the character statues are all of underage people.
Mm-hmm.
And and the people that go and take all of these pictures need to think about that, because that can get them into trouble too.
Yes, it can. And we all saw what happened to the dude that created Kenshin. We all saw that. So, and now that the rules are starting to change, so get your shit together. All right. Don't mind me. I was just following people on my Insta that started following me back, because I know if I don't do it now, I'll totally forget. And now that we actually went way over the time limit, which is, I guess, something should have expected from day one. So,
since every time there's a con review.
Yeah. So for those of you who have stuck around to the end, thank you so much. We really appreciate that, because as soon as I hit game over on this, I'll be editing this and putting it on the feed for everybody else who missed us live. So with all that said and done, I think it's time for us to get up on out of here our own damn selves. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters, and we tell it like it is, what we like and don't like. So if you have any questions about the show tonight, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, it's podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find our weekly podcast along with anime reviews, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook page of cosplay coverage, editorials, and a little bit more here and there. That's all that at animejamsession.com. And if you like tonight's show and you want to check it out again on a nice audio side, we're available in the podcast form. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anything that you use for collecting podcasts, just find us through any of those. Just search Anime Jam Session and you'll find us. And what's great is that some of these sites allow you to leave a review. So if you could, drop us a line. We greatly appreciate it. I've seen we got some new ones on iTunes, so I've definitely got to swing over there and check that out. Or Apple Podcasts, either or. Let's see what else we have here. Our social media. Follow us, Anime Jam Session, on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. If you follow us on those three, you'll know when we're going live, when we have new articles up, new stories, podcast is up, when we're live, all that, and then some. And to all of you who follow us on those socials, thank you so much. We could not do this show without y'all. So now we're going to go around the room for last words. Last words, Ari.
I get to visit my aunt tomorrow, which is nice because I haven't seen her in a long while.
Last words, Mako.
I am so fucking tired.
You and me both.
My last words. I finally got a new microphone stand. I'm going to put it up later. So that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. So come out and join us and chat with us and have some fun. So that is it. End of list. And we're going to double check. Oh, wait. One more thing. Our tip jar. If you're watching live, there's a link to our Ko-Fi and Stream Elements down below. And you click on that and you can throw us a few dollars. If you can't do that, cheer us on. Cheer us on with bits in the chat. Or subscribe to the stream. Give out gift subs. Because of all of that and everybody else who loves us, we had an awesome hype train early on in the beginning of the show. And that tickled me so much. I'm really thankful and appreciative of that. So now, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we're going. We did our last words. We're getting out of here. I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
And I'm Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Awesome. Perfect. See you all next week.
podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!